Oh, it'll get looked at today. I'll have a better answer for you tomorrow.
And just first time out there with the guys on the ice, getting through the puck drill, all that. Just does it feel like camp is starting now? Now that you're able to.
We felt it last week. You know, we wanted to make sure that we were giving our best to the young guys that came in. It's such an important time for them. But it's different when you put that many. Just even sounds, right? You got bigger men with higher power, and they're tearing that ice up real fast. So it just feels different when you put that many guys on the ice. It rarely happens that you will, in training camp, have your team in one group. And then when you get into the regular season, you don't practice them like that. They don't have a day like they had today. So what I liked is that they just drove each other. You know, they pushed hard through it. Their fitness numbers are incredible this year. They're in better shape than they were last year, which is hard to imagine, but they just are. So we're going to be able to go hard in this camp.
Why do you say that? You said the same thing last year.
Yeah, I think there's a benefit to having the extra week to train. They're just more and more professional. They put more and more time into it. They've got their programs dialed in, and they test hard. They like to get the information from the test. So when you have that kind of group that enjoys getting better, you see it there first. First question is, how hard did they test? Because they're all probably making the team, and they tested hard, and their numbers are improved. So we're pretty excited about where they're at physically.
And again, with respect that you'll have more information, we have more information. The level of concern right now is such.
Beyond our control, so there's no concern. We have to learn to win hockey games without good players. And if that's the adversity or the test that we face this year, then that's what we're going to do. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't, whatever the report is won't affect how we handle that next day. If he's not in the lineup on opening night, or if he misses an exhibition game, or if he's out long term, it's just not going to affect that day. We got to win the hockey game. We got to prep for it. That's all.
When you're standing there at center ice, thinking all the pucks are lined up, like I see like Jamie's yelling at the guys. Are you just kind of standing there?
I watch.
What's going through your mind? Are you watching specific things, or?
Looking for a player to jump out either way. I'm looking for the guy that goes really hard at the end and not so hard early. I'm watching their faces to see what kind of level of pain they're in, and mostly, truly. We've got some people yelling and encouraging. I know how hard they're going. They're going as hard as they can. So I'm showing silent respect for it. It's good to have encouragement. In the first year, you were barking at them because they weren't at the level they needed to be at. Now they are in that skate. So the last thing they need is me screaming at them. They don't need it. They drive.
What is the continuity within the coaching group? When you're a good team, it stands to reason that you're going to lose people because people want to graduate to becoming head coaches. Other franchises want to know what the secret sauce is here, so obviously they try to help people.
Yeah. Well, eventually it's going to happen. It's something that we'll have to deal with. The best way to put it right now, I couldn't do any of their jobs as well as they do it. And they have we all have a section, we all have a role in what we monitor and what we take care of. And we all have different personalities. Jamie clearly is a barker. You can come to practice and know that. And I say that in a very positive way, because he does that every single day, every single game. His energy is exceptionally high. So each one of us have even a personality role, if you will, that we fill. And it's been great. We didn't have to work really hard to get into those roles. They were natural. And I knew Jamie, I'd worked for him, so I understood where he fit. All the rest of them, I'd worked with Miles briefly at the World Cup a few years ago, so I knew how he would handle the role that he had. All the rest of us were kind of new working together, first time together, and then we just kind of naturally filled into roles. And there's also tremendous crossover in what we do. and you can see it. You've probably never backed into our offices. We sit in, we all have our own offices, but we never sit in them. We have a great big kind of U-shaped desks that are lined up, a big TV at the end, and we just sit at it for hours a day, even while we're doing individual video work. We just talk hockey and throw out ideas. And they're at that table, I'd like to think if you walked in, you couldn't figure out who the head coach was. You couldn't figure out what the roles are by the way we interact.
What's the line between you want people on your staff to graduate and get those
Yeah.
big opportunities versus, of course, you don't want them to leave because you don't want them to leave.
Right.
What's that dance like?
I don't spend any time thinking about it. If the call comes that somebody has an opportunity to go there, it really is great for them career, we're going to cheer for them. If they're in their West, we'll cheer for them 80 games a year. You know, like we'll be pushing for them. There is the same feel in our coaching room, I believe, that's in the players' room. A deep caring for each other, really supportive group. The family's very close knit. So the only way we think a coach is leaving, it's for something that could be really part of a dream, something he's always wanted to do. At some point in time, Tuomo Ruutu is going to become a head coach. He just is. So, selfishly, hope it's not right away, but I understand that they all work very, very hard at their jobs. It's the time that they put in to be good at what they do that makes them so valuable, aside from their wonderful character. Right now, they're all criminals.
Coach, we know one of Matthew Tkachuk's strengths is having an emotional feel for the
Yeah.
game, but so is Brad Marchand's.
Yeah.
With Matthew out for those first few months, how much more significant does that maybe make that part of Brad's game
Yeah.
and his ability to have a feel for when you need an emotional shift?
You like to have coverage, right? So if all these guys are, God, they're so unique, but there are players that you can put in a certain style and a certain style of personality. You like to have more than one. So if you lose one, somebody else picks it up. And then you'll start to see some crossover. It's the same idea when you lose a couple of players. You see the other guys kind of picking it up because we've got people training for those jobs too, right? Like Sam Miskevich is kind of training for a job that he wants to. Anton Lundell, all these guys are looking to do more. And then that way, when you have a guy go down, if somebody steps up, well, it's hard when you have a Matthew Tkachuk out of your lineup because there's just nobody actually exactly like him. But we've got other players that can be themselves and fill that role.
Now, on that note, there's obviously never like injuries, but if there's something that happened early on in camp that gives you a chance to maybe test different guys in different spots and see who fits where that maybe hadn't been.
Yeah, within reason. I mean, the veteran players here are going to play 2 exhibition games. They're probably, if we get a chance to look at something that we haven't seen before, we would like to do that in those 2. But really what we've always done is kind of how we've always operated. Somebody's going down. It's just a fact. And that's where you get the chance to look at possibly a new combination. At the same time, you know, we wouldn't have reached a level of arrogance thinking that we're just going to go out there and try a bunch of things to see if it works. We're also got to win hockey games. So we would also adhere to some things that we've seen before that work well. Yeah, short term here. It's just had a minor lower body injury last week skating. So I think we see him in the first 4 days here. It's nothing long term. He's fine.
I wanted to ask you about Ubis. You've seen him grow over the last
Yep.
few years. He's sort of a celebrity out hockey. He's doing car commercials out there for them.
Well, he's future president or prime minister. I'm not sure. I don't know the government well enough. There you go.
Yeah, just the growth you've seen from him over the last 2 years, and knowing that even with all that growth, you know he's still competing to crack the line.
Yeah.
Knowing the work ethic he's putting in.
Comfort level is important. I think when he first came here, I mean, he can speak English, but there were some things that it wasn't easy for him first on, and then getting to know guys. And he had this, we were playing him up front. He played forward. He played defense. But now he's got his own personality in the room too, right? He's got 5 nicknames. That's always a tell, and he is part of that group. And in his role, he will always be a really good defender for him. But what he does is we can move him all over. He can sit out for a stretch of time, come in and play. Now he may go in and play and never come out. those things are all possible for him. But he's very versatile as a defenseman, and now, you know, he's one of the lads. Okay, everybody, thank you.